Despite all the content released at E3, there is a lot we still don't know about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. One of the biggest questions we have is who this old man is. He is the only NPC in the Great Plateau, and he provides useful information tied to the tragic fate of Hyrule 100 years prior and the seal of Calamity Ganon. Thankfully, we think we have found the answer and some solid evidence to prove it.
Aye, it would seem that we have quite the enigma here.
In the story portion of the Breath of the Wild E3 demo, Link awakens from a shrine of resurrection after 100 years slumber, with a rather self-explanatory amnesia implying that one of the key quests of the game will be to explore the world to regain his memory. Upon leaving the shrine, he is subjected to the sight of the post-apocalyptic and ruined Hyrule, and the glimpses of the first NPC in this game, the Old Man. If there is one person who might sit with the key to his memory loss, then it is the Old Man. A character who has been stationed at the Great Plateau alone for a long time and knows a little too much about the history of Hyrule, the Sheikah tribe, Link, and the female voice.
Now then, you must hurry. Before it's too late.
Yeah, it is totally Zelda. After a rather non-formal introduction, the Old Man explicitly explains that the Great Plateau that they're standing on is considered the birthplace of what was the Kingdom of Hyrule, and that the old temple was a place of worship prior to Hyrule's decline. He also owns a paraglider that you eventually acquire after completing the 4 Sheikah shrines of the plateau to descend to the mainland Hyrule. Some are saying he's reminiscent of the Old Man from the original Legend of Zelda who gave you the wooden sword, uttering the famous line, "It's dangerous to go alone, take this." However, we are entirely convinced that he is none other than the King of Hyrule himself.
In our theory about Breath of the Wild's timeline placement, we suggested that the game might take place in a split adult timeline where Ganondorf gets his wish from the goddesses to take over Hyrule by touching the Triforce. This unfloods the land, leaving Hyrule at the vicious grasp of Calamity Ganon. Since Link has been asleep for 100 years in the Resurrection Shrine, it would be no surprise if the king were under a similar slumber. He would, of course, have woken up much earlier than Link, considering his knowledge on the fate of Hyrule.
Look, we know the Old Man being the king has been a theory hammered to the ground ever since E3, but in our defense, Nintendo has made it too obvious. We already mentioned that his knowledge is a hint on who he is, but they also look incredibly similar when compared side by side. This could just be a coincidence, however, but all of that changed when Vimeo user Fabian found this. Sound familiar? That, my friends, is the royal fanfare, the theme of Hyrule Castle and the theme of King Daphnis no Hansen Hyrule from the Wind Waker. If that doesn't already tell you who the Old Man is, then I don't know what will.
Perhaps his characteristic blue Hylian eyes, yet the Old Man cannot be Ganondorf since his eyes as a Gerudo male are yellow. Another clue to the royal family is this, as suggested in a comment by a YouTube user. He might have sighted what could be a golden triangle on his clothes over his chest. Could it possibly be a piece of the Triforce? Are we suggesting that he is King Daphnis no Hansen? It's possible, but also likely that he is a different King of Hyrule, depending on the timeline placement after Ocarina of Time. Either way, one thing is for certain. If he is the king, then he and the Sheikah have the same goal. They wish to test Link to see if he is truly the hero that will defeat Calamity Ganon and save Hyrule. This makes sense due to the royal family's ties with the Sheikah. In a way, he would be serving the same role as Sheik in Ocarina of Time, and yes, the King of Red Lions from the Wind Waker, leading to a surprising, or in this case, unsurprising reveal.
Could Nintendo be deceiving us? Possibly. Just look at that smug grin. Would you trust that face? I wouldn't. Unless it was making the best Zelda game of all time.
And that is what we're thinking The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will be. Color us optimistic. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked what you just saw, be sure to like, comment, and share this video. And while you're at it, be sure to subscribe for more theories on Breath of the Wild and Nintendo NX. And with that, this has been Commonwealth Realm.
My name is Alan from Curly Supreme.
And we'll see you in the next one.